Chosen one, 2 hours left. A private blessing is coming for you. Open this now. I want you to stop for just a moment. Not because I have something dramatic to perform for you. Not because I need your attention for the sake of holding it, but because something is happening in your life right now. Something quiet, something building underneath the surface of your ordinary days. And I believe you already feel it, even if you haven't found the words for it yet. There is a shift coming, a private one. The kind that doesn't announce itself on a stage or arrive with witnesses. The kind that finds you in an unremarkable moment, a Tuesday morning, a quiet evening, a pause between one thing and the next, and simply begins. And the only question that matters right now is whether you will be ready to receive it when it comes. Not ready in the sense of having everything figured out. Not ready in the sense of being perfect or fully healed or completely certain. Ready in the deeper sense, open, positioned, genuinely willing to let something new enter a life that has been holding its breath for a very long time. That readiness begins here, right now, in the next few minutes. Stay with me. Let me tell you what I think you have been carrying, because I want you to know that I see it, even through a screen, even without knowing your specific story. You have been patient for longer than patience feels sustainable. You have done the work, the inner work, the outer work, the invisible daily work of showing up and choosing to keep going without the visible confirmation that any of it is accumulating into something real. And there is a particular kind of exhaustion that comes not from laziness, but from sustained effort without visible return. A weariness that isn't about your body, it's about your hope. About the part of you that started this journey full of certainty and has been quietly, privately negotiating with doubt ever since. Maybe you've stopped telling people what you're believing for, because explaining it requires energy you no longer have, and the responses, however well-intentioned, sometimes cost more than the silence does. Maybe you've begun to wonder whether the things you were once so sure about were real, or whether you simply wanted them to be real badly enough that you convinced yourself. Maybe you wake up some mornings and the first thought isn't anticipation. It's a low, quiet question, a single word that takes up more space than it should. When? I am not here to give you a timeline. That is not mine to give, but I am here to tell you something that I believe with complete conviction, and that I want you to receive not as motivation designed to make you feel better temporarily, but as truth that is meant to recalibrate something in you permanently. The waiting has not been wasted. Not a single day of it. The thing that is coming for you, the shift, the opening, the thing you have been holding space for is private, not because it is small, but because it is specifically and precisely yours. Public blessings are built for crowds. They arrive with momentum that carries people along whether they are ready or not. But private blessings are different. They are calibrated. They are shaped to the exact contours of who you are, what you need, and what you have been prepared to receive through everything you have already survived. And because they are calibrated, they require a particular kind of readiness that cannot be manufactured in public. It has to be built in the quiet, in the moments of prayer and reflection and honest self-examination that no one else sees. The preparation you have been doing in private, the character you have been building when no one was watching. The faith you have been maintaining when no evidence supported it. The decisions you have been making from integrity rather than convenience, none of that was incidental. It was the preparation. And it is nearly complete, one of the hardest truths to hold during a long season of waiting is this: the timing that frustrates you is the timing that protects you. I know that sounds like the kind of thing people say to make delay feel acceptable, so let me say it more specifically. The version of the blessing you were ready for 2 years ago would not have fit the version of you that exists today. Not because you weren't worthy then, but because what is coming requires a you that could only have been formed through exactly the path you have walked, including the parts you would have skipped if the choice were yours. The delay was not punishment, it was precision. It was the blessing waiting for the recipient to catch up, not in effort, but in depth. In the quiet solidity that only comes from having stayed faithful through the seasons when faithfulness cost something real. You have paid that cost. The account is full. This one is both practical and deeply important for where you are right now. There are people in your life who love you genuinely and still cannot hold the vision of what you are moving toward. Not because they wish you ill, but because what you are believing for exists outside the boundaries of what their experience has taught them to consider possible. And when you bring your hope into those conversations, when you try to share what you are trusting for, what you sense is coming, what you have been quietly holding through all of this, what returns to you is often not support. It is a gentle, well-meaning redirection toward what is realistic, toward what makes sense, toward the practical and the provable. Receive their love, but protect your vision. Not every seed should be shared before it has broken ground. Some things need to grow in the dark for a while before they are strong enough to survive the light of other people's opinions. What you are carrying is one of those things. Keep it covered a little longer. Let it root. I want to address something that I think holds many people back from receiving what is prepared for them. There is a belief, sometimes spoken, more often unspoken, that gratitude for the present moment is incompatible with believing for something better. Somehow to accept where you are as a permanent condition. That contentment and ambition cannot coexist. This belief is wrong. And it is costing people the very receptivity that abundance requires. Gratitude is not resignation. It is the practice of recognizing that even in the incomplete, even in the not yet, even in the season of waiting, there is real provision, real grace, real evidence of a care that has not abandoned you. And that recognition, held genuinely, not performed, positions you to receive more. Because a person who can see the goodness in what they already have demonstrates the character required to steward what is coming. Find the evidence of grace in your current season. It is there. The fact that you are still here, still standing, still holding the vision that is not nothing. That is everything. Here is a warning disguised as an encouragement, and I need you to hear both sides of it. What is coming will be good. Better than you have allowed yourself to fully imagine in the careful, protected way you have learned to hope. And when it arrives, when the shift becomes visible and the private becomes public and the thing you believed for is finally standing in front of you in the physical world, there will be pressure. Pressure to become a different version of yourself, to accommodate it, to perform it, to wear it in a way that satisfies the expectations of people who are watching. Resist that pressure with everything you have. The you who received the blessing is the you who deserved it. The quiet, faithful, particular, sometimes uncertain, genuinely searching version of yourself that showed up through every hard season. That person is not a rough draft to be improved upon by success. That person is the point. Stay. Them. You do not need to audition for the relationships that are meant to accompany your next chapter. One of the things that shifts when a blessing arrives is that the right people, the ones whose presence will genuinely serve the life you are building, appear naturally. Not because you performed correctly or positioned yourself strategically, but because alignment is magnetic. Because people who are operating from their authentic purpose recognize others doing the same. You will not have to convince these people of your worth. You will not have to shrink yourself to fit their comfort or inflate yourself to earn their respect. You will simply recognize each other in the way that people recognize something true when they encounter it. Trust that recognition when it comes, and trust the absence of it too. Some connections that feel urgent are simply familiar, and familiar is not the same as aligned. I want to reframe something that I think most people misunderstand about the moments they are waiting for. The breakthrough you are approaching, the answered prayer, the open door, the shift you can sense coming is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a different one. This matters because people who treat a blessing as a destination stop growing the moment they arrive. They exhale and settle and slowly lose the very qualities, the hunger, the faithfulness, the daily practice of choosing well that generated the blessing in the first place. The most sustained, most meaningful, most genuinely joyful lives are built by people who received each blessing as an invitation to go deeper, who understood that abundance is not a resting place but an expanding responsibility, who stayed curious and growing and genuinely humble long after they had earned the right to stop. Receive what is coming as a beginning. Let it open you rather than settle you. And keep walking forward with the same faithfulness that brought you to this threshold. This might be the most intimate thing I say in this entire script, and I want to say it carefully because it deserves the weight it carries. The private decisions, the ones where you chose integrity when compromise was available and undetectable. The moments where you gave when giving cost you something. The times you showed up for someone else's need when your own needs were unmet. and no one would have blamed you for staying home. Those decisions were not invisible. They were not lost. They were not wasted on a universe that wasn't paying attention. They were seeds. And seeds planted in faithfulness, however long the ground appears dormant, do not fail to produce. The harvest does not always arrive on a schedule that makes sense from inside the waiting, but it arrives. What you have sown in private is about to produce something you will not be able to keep private, because some fruit is simply too abundant to hide. Here is where many people miss what was prepared for them, not because it didn't arrive, but because it didn't arrive in the shape they expected. We spend years imagining the specific form our breakthrough will take, the particular opportunity, the precise relationship, the exact version of the life we are believing for. And we hold that image so firmly that when something real and genuinely good arrives in a different shape, we sometimes walk past it looking for what we imagined. Release the shape. Hold the substance. The substance is this: provision, peace, purpose, and the people who are meant to walk alongside you into the next chapter. Those things may arrive through pathways that surprise you, through conversations you didn't expect, through doors in walls you didn't know existed. Stay open to the surprise. The best blessings rarely arrive through the door you were watching. I want to end the development here at the truth that sits underneath everything else. You were not randomly present in this season of your life. The specific combination of your history, your character, your gifts, your wounds, your capacity for both suffering and joy, that combination was not accidental. It was assembled over time for a purpose that is larger than what you can currently see. The chosen ones and I use that language not to create elitism, but to describe a specific spiritual reality, are not chosen because they are the most talented, or the most visible, or the most accomplished. They are chosen because they said yes when yes was hard, because they stayed when leaving was justified, because something in them kept reaching toward light even in the seasons when light was not visible. That is you. That has always been you. And what is coming, the private blessing being prepared in the hours ahead, is not a reward for perfection. It is a response to faithfulness, to the particular irreplaceable way you have shown up for your life even when your life was not showing up for you. Accept it fully, without the guilt that tells you it's too much or the fear that whispers it won't last. It is yours. Receive it as such. Let me leave you with this. There are 2 hours or 2 days or 2 seasons between where you are standing and what is waiting on the other side. The timing is not yours to control, but what you do in the waiting is entirely yours. Use it to get quiet, to release the anxiety that has been masquerading as preparation, to let go of the version of your blessing that you designed and open your hands for the version that was designed for you. Use it to be grateful, genuinely, specifically grateful for the evidence of grace that is already present in your life right now. The breath in your body, the mind that is still reaching, the heart that has not given up despite every reason it could have. Use it to remember who you are, not who you are performing, not who you are trying to become. Who you actually are, the particular chosen, irreplaceable person who has been faithful through a season that would have broken someone with. Less depth. That person is about to receive something. Be here for it. Be open for it. Be exactly, fully, unapologetically yourself when it arrives. Because that is who it was sent for. If this reached you today, if something in these words landed in a place that needed landing, subscribe. Every week we go deeper into truth about identity, purpose, faith, and what it actually means to live a life that was meant for you. Your blessing is already in motion. Walk toward it with everything you are.